Hello everyone, just waiting for people to get in here. How's it going? Hello, hello, hello. Let me get up the chat here. How's it going? We're gonna get started momentarily. Hello, Darmesh, Julia, Shane, Abaz, Patrick, Nafal, Elliot. I'm probably just screwing some of these names up. So horrible. Oh, Cincinnati. Nice. You're about, I don't know. I forget how far Cincinnati. That's like 3 or 4 hours from me, I think. I'm not sure. Just do it. I'm not too excited about this one because I'm really putting myself on the spot here. Nigeria. That's pretty awesome. All around the world. Florida. Yeah, the weather up here sucks. Get white girl wasted tonight. That white girl would be my wife. Yeah. Thank you very much for the super chat. Awesome stuff. Way to go. You got it rolling already. All right, so I'm going to begin here. So we're going to get, I'm going to just let everybody know what I'm doing today. Again, thank you for that, Austin. So today, this is not a normal design review. I did 2 in a row the last 2 weeks. And what I find is when I do the typical design reviews, like multiple weeks in a row, they start to become less popular. So I'm going to go back and forth and alternate between doing those. And what I'm doing today is I'm calling it a project follow along of some sort. In this case, it's I'm going to be using this random app idea generator. It's not a generator really. It's just there's a bunch of little sticky post-it notes on this website with app ideas, and I'm going to hide my eyes and just like take my mouse and hover over one of them, and then I'm going to choose 3 of those. I'm going to do that 3 times, and then I'm going to choose which one I feel most comfortable with. Because if I just choose one and just make that the one be the one that I have to do, that'd be tough because some of the ideas are stupid and I don't want to waste time on stupid ideas. But the idea is I want you guys to follow along and do the same thing. If not during this review, then perhaps after, sometime today, tomorrow. It's a great way to force yourself to improve on your UI design and your UX as well. Because when we only work on projects that we want to, then we really can only focus on our strengths. So some of these app ideas will really force you to really think, especially about the user experience and the onboarding process and how things should be structured. Now, I'm only going to be doing this for like 45 minutes to an hour. So don't expect anything to be, a finished product. I won't be designing millions of screens, but I'm going to focus on the primary screens probably just to come up with a nice UI design. And you guys can see how I approach it. Also, at the end, I will do a round of design reviews only for people who send in a super chat. All right, so the super chat, of course, on the chat is if you click that little icon here, you click super chat, you give in some dollar amount, and you mention your Discord username, and you go to review submissions and submit your design of some sort. It could be a UI design, a logo design, or whatever, and I will review it. And I will also rate it in the chat room. We'll also rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 as well. So this, of course, helps me established my margarita fund for tonight. Every Fridays I do have a couple margaritas in a very girly fashion, and that just helps pay for those. So yeah. Before we begin, one last thing. Definitely check out the sponsor, which is Skillshare.com, and that is the link that's overlaid over here permanently. If you use that link, you'll get 2 free months at Skillshare.com. Skillshare is an online education platform with thousands of classes across UI, UX design, graphic design. Just there's thousands, literally. And this is the one featured class that I'm recommending that will follow along pretty well with this particular video, this live stream, and this is User Experience Design Essentials. All right, so definitely check that out. All right, so let's begin. I'm dreading this, by the way. I am absolutely dreading doing this. Okay, here we go. I don't like putting myself on the spot, but you know what? I couldn't come up with any other better idea. So, all right, here we go. Let's get out this thing here. So here's what it is. It's called ideaswatch.com, and there's startup ideas, and there's tons of them. I guess there's around 1,300. I have a few tabs open here of different pages because they're split up in a bunch of different pages, and each page I have it just with these, there's 12 here per page, and I'm literally going to hide my eyes, and I'm going to move the mouse around and just let it hover on one of these, and I'm going to do this 3 times, and then I'll choose which one I think would be easiest to do, or maybe not easiest, but best for the tutorial, because some of the ideas are stupid. They're not well formulated. All right, so here I go. Here is I'll get up the chat, by the way. There we go. I'll put you over there. All right, so actually what I'll do is this. There we go. Okay, so here we go with the very first one. Customize greeting cards delivered. All right, so I'm not going to read through the whole thing, but if you hover over this, it says about a decade ago, people used to go to a store and handpick a card, write their message, and send, and now people just go online, choose a flash animation, send it. No real emotions are put into it. It's just a formality now. So my idea is to make a web app which lets you handpick cards from a virtual store. A handpick cards from a virtual store, a complete card shop interface, and then lets you customize it. Write stuff anywhere, draw on it, pictures, and then we deliver it by post to your loved one. Payments will be online, of course, at the time of sending to reduce the price of sending a card. I plan to collaborate for advertising agencies, customize greeting cards, deliver. Okay, that's an interesting idea. All right, so customize. I'm going to get out my notepad here, and I'm just going to save this idea. I think they have their own link. Oh, look at that. Oh, this site must be old. There's an application error. Okay, great, awesome. Not okay. So customized greeting cards delivered. All right. So basically, the idea is, yeah. Well, it says it in the name. All right. The second idea. I'm not sure. We may use that one. We may not. Next one. Here we go. Life Manager. Oh, geez. Some of these have to have the longest. I'm not going to read through all of this, by the way. The name is ideaswatch.com. Just look up at the top. It's in the URL. Life Manager, free mobile app with a paid subscription-based backend for multi-focus and multitasking people. It's task and management. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to do this one because that's boring. It's like a to-do list. Okay. Let's do the next page. It's a different page. All right, here we go. Etched. Oh, etched. What is etched? Remember those challenges that were all the go at one time, whatever that means? Ice bucket challenge, don't judge challenge. Those are only a few examples, but I bet if you were on any social network, you enjoyed watching them, especially those videos of people you know. I present to you Etched. The idea of Etched is to bring friends together in a real world. Nowadays, technology has stopped people communicating face-to-face. With Etched, we can change that. So what do you do with Etched? Jesus Christ, just get to the point already. Well, with Etched, you can set challenges for you and your friends to complete within a given time frame. For example, you create a group and set a challenge for your friends Bob and Ellis. Bob and Ellis then both review the challenge, and they can either accept or decline the challenge. If they accept the challenge, they are in the group. Jesus Christ. They must also take a video that can be no longer than a minute, and it might change that time. They can either post the video as private or public. Some other possible options I could include are to add a feature where you only see videos from within a 10 or so mile radius. I don't even really understand that too much. You know what? I guess I'm going to say I think the first one, like people are saying, Etched. I understand what they're saying. They're saying you should. How about an app where people can come up with challenges? I don't necessarily understand how that brings people face to face because you're usually doing these challenges on your own. But whatever, dude. We're not going to do Etched, and we're not going to do Life Manager, the task management. We're going to do the customized greeting cards delivered idea. All right, so that is it right there. Okay, so I'll leave that up here. Let's see here. It was on this one, customized greeting cards delivered. All right. No, okay, so just to rehash this idea, I'm not going to reread all of it. It's to make a web app which lets you handpick cards from a virtual store. So we have to have a list of some sort. And then it lets you customize it. You can write stuff anywhere, draw on it, put pictures maybe, and then we deliver it by post, which means like physically mail this customized card to your loved ones. Okay. All right, so that's pretty cool. I think we'll do that. All right. Okay, so let's go to XD. We're gonna do this on an app, like an iPhone interface. So I'm just gonna choose this default one right here. Again, I'm using Adobe Experience Design XD for this, and I will get you guys up here on the chat. Maybe I should get you guys to the right, or to the left this time. So I'm gonna put you guys right over here. I still keep on forgetting to download that app, which allows you to make chats always on top, or any window that you specify. But you know, I always remember like two minutes before the live stream's beginning. I'm just gonna put this right here. There we go. Now everybody could still chat. Okay, cool. I'm not going to program it too. I mean, I'm only going to be able to do a couple screens, really. If I'm not even sure how many I'll get to. So again, the whole purpose of this is to help me, or is to help you figure out one person's attempt at designing the UI for such an app idea. So the app idea again is going to be customized greeting cards. So one of the first things you have to ask yourself when you're beginning a project like this is, of course, you'd want to confer with a developer or anybody else that you have who's formulating the idea, and ask yourself, okay, so when a user launches the app, what is the first thing that they're going to be presented with? Sometimes it's a splash page, or if it's an intensive app that relies perhaps on fetching data from an API right away, there might be a loading screen or something. I'm not going to worry about that, just because that will add unnecessary time to this. And then next you have to ask yourself, is there going to be a user registration required? Must they have an account? Must they register or log in before they can use the interface? For me, I don't like apps like that personally, so we're going to assume not for this case. So I'm not even going to worry about designing that first onboard part right there. We're going to assume this app doesn't need the user to be logged in just to start using it, which is kind of important. All right, so we're going to just get ourselves right into the main user interface where they begin the process of trying to have a customized card created. So we have to ask ourselves, do we list out? My immediate thought regarding this type of project is, Do you let them create a card from scratch? Like, could that be an option? Or do you also allow them to choose from a list of cards that are pre-designed? What do you guys think? I think both. Both would make sense. To allow somebody just to use whatever the editor is that's baked into the app interface to create a custom card, that should be an option. But also for people who want a template that's perhaps separated in different categories, that should be an option as well. All right. I think we'll go with both. I think that makes sense. All right. So at the top, we also have to ask ourselves, you know, is there going to be a menu? And of course, there would have to be a menu for this. This isn't a simple app like a one-screen app. So it would definitely have a menu of some sort. You would also want to ask yourself, are you doing material design? You don't have to do that, although it's popular. I don't even know if I have Get UI Kits. Google Material. I may just pull in Google Material just to get some quick access to icons, because I don't want to sit here wasting time designing icons. Component sticker sheet. I think this might be it right here. There we go. So if I open that up, it's opening on the other screen. One moment. There we go. So this is the Google Material Design, all the components and stuff. And I may end up pulling from some of these just so I don't have to. Also, another thing that's very important to mention is colors. Like, do you concern yourselves with colors when you're beginning this UI UX process? For me, be no. Try to make it maybe black and white or grayscale. You can worry about the colors afterwards, because that's just adding an unnecessary element of contemplation when really you should be focusing on form and function of the app UI. So I think what I'll do, we'll just stick with light here, and I'm going to copy just this top part right here, because I want this bar up top where it has the time and the battery and all that stuff. And also probably, let me see here. I'm going to look around just a little bit. By the way, thank you. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I don't want to butcher it. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to do that. But if you did have me, if you wanted me to review a design, let me know in the chat what your username was. If not, still, thanks a lot, though. All right, so we're going to have some type of top bar here. I'm just looking around and seeing if that's the one that I want to grab. Yeah, that is the one I want to grab. All right, so I'm going to take this, copy it, and expand it out. All right, so now here we have just a menu, and sometimes these can be right aligned. I'll leave it there. And for a title, I'm going to leave settings for now, even though that's not, I'll say create your card. Something like that. This may change, by the way. Let me read through some comments. Oh, okay, thanks. I do actually have a Dribble invite. I'm going to give that away soon, but not now. Okay, so create your card. This first area, I think, should be structured into two different sections in terms of just the concept. And that is create a custom card from scratch or choose from a template. Okay, so what we'll do is I need to think about a button. So it's just going to be a simple button for them to create their card from scratch. And I think that should probably be at the top, although it shouldn't consume a lot of space. Whatever space it is, maybe it should be just right around this amount of length for creating the card themselves. So for now, I'm just going to make it a simple standard button, and then beneath we're going to figure out different ways that we could potentially list out predefined cards for this customized greeting card app that we were tasked with creating. So what we'll do is I'm going to put in just a button. And right now, what I'm looking at, and now we're going to get into little UI design fundamentals. By the way, I released a free UI design course just a few weeks ago, so definitely check that out on the channel. And so what I'm thinking about for placing this button right now at this point in time is white space. All right, notice where the cursor is right now. It's beginning right where this hamburger icon menu starts. And it's also the same distance away from this. So I see a little square right here. Right here. And that's where I want to begin the button. Roughly like right around there. And it doesn't have to be just a button. We can have some text on top, but just for now, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to pull in the corners a little bit to create a button like that. All right. And then I will give it. And by the way, I will color this later. I'm just kind of giving it a wireframe feel for now. So I'm going to take the type tool. We're going to center align it. I don't like how it says create your card up here. And then it says the same thing almost. I'm just going to say get started or whatever. Having a menu here may not, like this part may not even make sense. We may change that because again, when it comes to design, you're kind of thinking things change all the time. This is why I can't stress enough. Some people like to go right into the HTML and CSS. Not a good idea. You should definitely put yourself in a UI design and prototyping app like this so you can allow yourself to make changes very quickly. Bold. All right, so just that for now is fine. I think what we'll do now is figure out some different ways that we can show a list of items, visual items. In this case, these are card designs. So it does not hurt, and it's not cheating if you go to a site like a UI design gallery, and this one's called uimovement.com, though you can go to Google and type UI design inspiration, a keyword like that, and you'll find a bunch of these sites like Collect UI. And a lot of them have everything broken down into different categories, and you can also even search. So if I want to type in cards, like movie cards, there's 59 UI design examples of movie cards, and these are just to help you sprout different ideas that may be applicable and relevant to the project that you're working on. So for instance, this one here, this is a movie card. You can see how they chose to put in this sort of a carousel approach to listing out different card. And I say card, but they're not cards. These are movies in this context, but to list out different information that may be in the form of an image. And so people can scroll right or left on these. It's a carousel, and that works quite well. You can also do things like this. All right, so this is a more vertical approach to scrolling through different card-based items. And so I wouldn't say there's a right or wrong way, but in our case, because we're allowing people to choose cards that are predefined, you want them to be able to see the card quite well. So the card needs to be large on the app screen, right? And you could just put cards like right here that are quite large and they can scroll vertically. That's kind of boring. I do like the idea of the carousel. And I also like the idea of categorizing these cards. So we could categorize them based on the type of card, like an anniversary card. It could be a ton of different categories, none of which I can think of. Maybe somebody died or something like that. So we'll put them in categories, maybe even based on popularity as well, just kind of generalized categories. And then we will also, I think, use a carousel for this. So let's get started. I'm going to put in most popular. So let's, what am I doing? Left align this. Make it black. Hello, everybody. Wow, there's 223 people watching. Nice. Okay. Most popular. Now, you'll see that I'm going to be moving stuff around all the time. We're going to add color to this, by the way, as well. All right, so we're going to have a category of most popular. I don't like this get started right there. I don't. We'll work with that. Don't worry. You know what? For now, I'm just going to hide it. There we go. And in fact, I may even get rid of this entire thing right here. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. How should I go about this? That's kind of how I want it to be. I don't want a menu up there right now. Okay, so create a card from scratch. And then here's our first list. So I'm going to put in a greeting card. Now, cards, they're typically in this sort of dimension. I'll put one like right around that size just for now. And yeah, we'll make these. A card is usually not beveled on the side, so we'll leave it like this. So let's go ahead and put this in right around there. And what we'll do is we'll do a repeat grid real quick, just like that. And that looks good. And you also have to ask yourself, do we want to just present the card graphic itself, or do we want to present other accompanying information along with it, such as like a title, the date when it was created, although I'm not sure if that's relevant, maybe how many times, maybe how popular it is, maybe they could be rated. And if that's the case, then we need to adjust this a little bit. I think just to work in some more UI design, we'll go with that route. So I'm going to put this over here for a second. Actually, no. I'll right-click. No, we'll ungroup the grid. I'm going to delete this one. We're going to give our background color right here a little bit of a gray. All right, and we'll make this one white right here. This would be kind of like a card container. We're going to duplicate it with Control D. Like that. And we can think about how to position this in here, how much padding we need in a little bit. I'll adjust things here. All right, and then we could put in a title here. And we have to ask ourselves, should the title be left aligned or right aligned? No, I'm going to left align it. So I'm going to say, I'm just going to come up with a fictional card title. Wait, let's see here. We're sorry. Okay, that's going to be the title of the card. I guess the cards can have titles. All right, and we can have ratings. I'm not sure if that UI design kit came with a star shape. Let me see if it did. What the hell? I must have clicked out of it. Well, I can go to, oops, here again. Oh, there it is. And I just got 2 copies of this thing open. Let me close that out. I don't think there's a star in here, probably not. Sorry, 1 second. We'll go to Icon Finder. I'm sure Icon Finder has a star. I don't want to try to create a star myself with the pen tool. It's too difficult. So, I'm going to choose by no link back and free. There we go. Yeah, we'll just choose this one. So I'll choose SVG. All right. And we'll drag this. I'm going to drag it to my desktop and then drag it onto the artboard. All right, here it is. You might have to put this on a lower line just because you want more space for the title, because there could be larger titles. So we'll put one here. Actually, a better way of doing this is just repeat grid. We'll do 5 stars. Okay. Of course, I don't like the look of this right now. We'll fix things up in terms of, we're going to worry about color afterwards. What I'll do is ungroup this and just, we'll make this, we'll just simulate one of them being a 4-star rating or something like that. Take the rest of them. Again, we'll give, like I said, we'll give color to this later on. And I don't think I like the position of this right now, but for now, I think that'll be fine. So we have to ask ourselves, how much white space is good for this card container and the actual image itself? Well, all this stuff should be with the same amount of white space all around, from the very bottom of the stars to the top, to the right and the left, should all have an equal amount of white space, margin, or padding essentially, from the inside of this container. So how close do we want to get to this? Because we want this to be as large as it can be, right? So let's take all this. I'm going to group them, Control G. Maybe push them down. Probably wouldn't want to go more, like, any more than that amount. So if we move this over and everything's lined up pretty well, that seems like it's pretty good. So I'm just moving things around, trying to get this initial card designed. Okay, so this looks pretty good. What we'll do is we take all 3 of these and we can hit repeat grid. And then there we go. We have our first sort of card design. All right, so we'll take this, and before I do that though, I'm going to make this larger. So we'll show, we repeat grid here. Maybe just 3 categories, because you don't want to show a massive amount of categories. It's going to take too long to load. And then give them some way to then come down here and maybe choose a select, like a drop down, like a menu of some sort, to choose a category, and then it'll take them to a different page that lists out in perhaps a different format all of the cards. The app, it was a random app generator that I used at the very beginning of this tutorial or this live stream. And the app is supposed to be for customized greeting cards. So a person can take this customized, or this app, they use the app, and then they could choose to either create a card from scratch using the design tools that are a part of the app, or create a customized greeting card that is then physically shipped to somebody of their choosing. And the whole point of this is this is just an exercise in UI UX design, essentially. So this would be maybe most popular. This would be another one for what? Maybe a more specific purpose like birthday. This one could be for anniversary. All right, thank you for that. So at the bottom, we can have some sort of drop, like a select menu. Let me go back here. Thank you for the super chat. I'll get to the super chat designs, or the submissions, or the reviews rather, after I'm done with this. So let me go back here. I keep on downloading these. All right, oops. There we go. Okay, so I need an example of a drop-down menu. I'm not sure if they have one designed here. I haven't looked over this too much. I mean, I can design one myself. Here's one right here, sort of. Screw it, I'll just design one myself. I don't see one right away. So what I'll do is come here. I'll duplicate this. We'll make this white. We'll make this one here. We'll just make this not bold. Left align it. Other categories. Get in there with the pen tool. And just do a drop down. What is happening? There we go. And then we can move this up, move them around as needed. Okay. Something like that. I think that'll work. Oh crap. Sorry, I'm back. We'll go back to, there we go. Sorry about that. There we go. So this is the drop down menu. I don't know how long that was sitting there. You can see me now. I did hit a hotkey. I gave myself a 1. That is funny. Jesus. Okay. This is bothering me. I want to make this white. And I hate that bold. There we go. Okay, cool. First we code an animated version. There's actually some animation that and user interactivity that you can add using Adobe XD's auto animate feature, but you need multiple artboards in order to use that. So just yeah, you could, I would actually do it almost entirely in Adobe XD itself for showing the prototyping and such. All right, so here I am. Okay, so I have to ask myself, do I like this? I actually think it's not bad. These would be the cards here, and people could swipe left or right. You can actually simulate that as well in Adobe XD. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that though. And let's see. One question or one consideration would be what happens when you click on one. Then you would be taken into an interface that has a bunch of icons for drawing and adding customizations to the cards. Maybe I'll do that. I mean, that's going to take a little bit more, quite a bit more time. In that case, let me just do something very quick. And then we'll add color to this, and I'll show you how you can maybe experiment with a light sort of UI versus a dark UI. So I'll make a second page real quickly to show what happens when a person clicks on one of these cards. And then we'll start doing, I'll do some of the design reviews at the end. All right. And by the way, yeah, my sponsor, this live stream and all my live streams on Friday are made possible by the sponsor, which is Skillshare.com. And so the featured course at Skillshare is User Experience Design Essentials, so it's kind of going hand in hand with what I'm teaching today. You can watch this course and about 25,000 other courses 2 months free using that link over here that's overlaid on the graphic, and it's also in the YouTube description, so definitely take advantage of that. All right, so we're going to go back here, and why do I keep on, there it is. We're going to go into this area, and I'm going to grab that top part. I'm going to paste it in here. All right. Create your card. What am I doing? Create your card. Okay. We're going to get rid of this right here. So again, we're simulating the screen that occurs when a person clicks on one of these. All right. So we're going to have some sort of canvas and some other way of navigating between the different pages of the card. Like, you know, you have the front, you have the front, you have the inside and the other part. Okay, this is going to be a little bit tough here. Delete. Okay. So let's get started here. First thing I think I'll do is we'll put things into sort of like a canvas. So I'm going to have like a big area right here with no stroke and a color, perhaps something like that. Just for now, it's mid-gray. We're not adding color or anything. We're not worried about that. Let me save this before I forget. I'm greeting card app. Save it to the cloud. There we go. Okay, so let me put in, we'll duplicate that. Bring this in. We'll make this white. And this will be, let's say, the front of the card by default. And we need some way for people to navigate between designing for a front and back and inside as well. So we'll pull this. Let's delete this stuff. Get out of here. There we go. This is the fold right there. Okay, so we need to allow people to be able to change colors like that. And as well as type. So we need icons, kind of like, you know, in Adobe XD right here. And so you have to ask yourself, where would it make sense to put those icons? I think it would make sense to put them at the bottom, perhaps in a row. Like this. So we'll put in like a bar like that. Maybe to make it stand out, we'll make it darker. And then we can put in some drawing tools down here. Okay. Now I'm not going to put in a bunch of custom drawing tools. I think what I'll do, well, I can do these pretty quickly. Let's just do this real quick. Actually, we don't have a select tool like on a web-based app, right? So that wouldn't make sense. Let's put like a type tool. So a type is usually just a T. So we'll make that white here. And when it comes to icon design, this is one of those things where you need to make sure that they're all uniform or they're consistent in their appearance. So if we're using this style of a T with that thickness, all the other line thicknesses should be around the same size. So we'll have like a shape tool down here, or for the next one. All right, so that would be white. There we go. Perhaps that would allow people to put in shapes. Maybe if they long press it, another option would come up where they have access to other geometric shapes. What else? A line tool. I'm not going to spend much time on this part. I just want to get some basic icons here. What is this? That was 2, and that is 2. Okay. And these are way too close together, I do admit. I gotta move them out a bit. What else? There would be a pencil tool as well. Again, I don't want to sit here too much screwing around with the individual UI elements. I think what I'll do is just what I'll do is just I'll just put in fictional kind of placeholder ones, and here's how I'll do it. I'll just do it like that. There we go. So there would just be a few tools on the bottom like this. So these would be in the future, because again, I don't want to waste time. All right, so this is a card. And like I said, we needed a way for them to be able to navigate and also save their card. So let's see here. How would we navigate and let them navigate between the different cards? We could put a right and left arrow right here, possibly. But if they're drawing, they may by accident click on it, so that could be bad for usability. So we want this to be large too, in different areas that they can customize. I'm gonna put a text area right here. One second. All right. No, we'll type in we hop. We hope you have a happy birthday. There we go. So this is just like a fictional card element that I'm putting here just to simulate, you know, what's happening here. Screw it. We'll use Montserrat because this wouldn't really be a design course YouTube video without Montserrat. We hope you have a happy birthday. We'll say right here, maybe like a secondary line. You can also customize this text. So we'll make that regular. Okay, I'm not going to spend much time on the card design itself because that's not really the purpose here. And we need, like I said, we need to figure out a way to allow them to sort through. Okay, so maybe we'll put some text in the middle. So this will be front. Okay. That makes sense, right? Because that's the front of the card. That's the current card that's a person is designing for. All right, and then perhaps we can just have a right arrow of sorts at the top here, like right here, that will allow them to customize and go through the next part. So what we could do is, where are we at? I don't know why. When I hover over this, this should be showing me the other document that's currently opened. Oh well. Windows can suck sometimes. So let's, here it is. Okay. I know they have a right arrow somewhere. I'll use that one. Where's the, 1 second. I'll get the chat out back in a second. Geez, how many groups do they have just for a freaking border? Okay, there we go. Now, does that make sense? Like having a right arrow to allow them to, you know, to click through to the next card. Also swiping though. I mean, it would make sense to allow a person to kind of hold and swipe to get to maybe the next portion of the card, which would be maybe the inside, like the inside front as well. And we would also want to have a way for them to save the card. So to do that, oh, and let's simulate, let's just say, for instance, that this could be like the inside front. Because I want to simulate maybe what it looks like as well. If they can go back as well, like that. Sort of like that. Okay. All right. So the idea is there would be more cards off to the side where they can customize it. And perhaps once they get to the back and they're done customizing all aspects of the card that are customizable, like, you know, the back of the last part of the card. I don't know what it's called. I know they have terminology. There would be a save button of sorts, or a save button up here, perhaps in the form of, or maybe down here, there could be a button to hit save card, or it could automatically save the card after each time there's an adjustment made. But I think, you know what, we're already at 53 minutes. And so hopefully, yeah, I think this is going to be a good part to stop. But what I will do is add some color here, because some people are probably wondering, how do you add color to this, and how do you make it look less like a prototype? So we'll just keep this mid-gray background color right here, but we'll add in some color to these, and maybe I'll even add in a greeting card appearance in some of these right here to really spice it up. So what we can do is, whenever you're trying to come up with a color scheme, obviously you need to think of a primary color. So I'll choose purple. We can add it to our swatches, and you can also add it to your colors right here in the assets panel. So right there. There we go. And now we'll make this one white, of course. Okay. And I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. We'll let this text be black here because I really want this call to action to really stand out. So we'll leave this black. We could possibly make this text right here this color. There we go. So now we've worked in a primary color effectively. Now let's put something inside of these little boxes. So make sure you save if you're following along. And so I'm going to search for greeting card to see if there's any greeting cards that we can use that are free to use. So usage rights, I'm going to choose labeled for reuse with modification. All right. And just see if there's one that would look good just in a mock-up in the context of what we're using. I'm not sure what this would look like if oh, it's massive. I don't want a massive one. Oh, come on. Let's find one. Let's find one. Just use that. No, okay, no, that's ridiculous. I'll type in this instead. Valentine's Day card. There we go. Okay, so these are all free to use, which is why I'm using them in this video. I don't like any of these designs. That's the snob in me. Although I don't want to waste time. Come on, just pick one, Gary. I'll just use this one. So I'm going to drag this to my desktop and then drag it on top of right there. Yeah, it kind of clashes with this color that I used, but I mean, you can't avoid that anyway. Maybe I'll do one more card just to vary it a little bit, the appearance. I'll do Valentine's Day card, and I'll do anniversary card. These all suck as well. We'll do birthday card. All right. I'll use that. There we go. All right, so you could simulate this in the actual prototype section where people can be able to drag through these cards in the prototype when you click play. I don't really have enough time or the care to do that right now. But yeah, to add this very simple color scheme, which is this light gray, white, and this color right here, you just replicate it over to this section over here. And just notice, pay attention to, the design fundamentals that I worked in here. A lot of white space around elements, in alignment. Everything's easy to read and to use. Yeah. I know. Do I want to be lazy and not apply the color scheme here? I'm not sure. I think you guys get the point, though. So hopefully, let me click play anyhow on here. And there's not much you can do, but let me come down here. Why is there that annoying bar or space right here? I don't like that. We could prototype it up real quick. I will take this, and that will go there. There we go. So now we can click play. Click on it, and there you go. It's a very simple prototype. But yeah, and I did mention I would show that how you can use create a dark version. So let me do that just very quickly. So to create a dark version, we'll take the background, maybe not quite black, but certainly darker. I'm not sure if I like this color for a black background. And then what you could do is for the individual cards, come out something like that. Take these, make them white. These need readjusted. They're all in groups, so I'm having to double click a million times. There we go. So we're just kind of inverting things. I still don't, I think the background is a little bit too black. There we go. And then we would have to adjust this as well. Make this color here. Make this white. And this white as well. And then you would do the same thing over here. You could probably just use this same color. This would be the card itself. This would be a darker background color. I'm not sure how that's going to affect things. Of course, there's some sort of weird border looking thing on it. Well, anyhow, you get the gist. Make this white. Make that white. These icons become white. And unfortunately, they're nested in so many freaking... There we go. And this still works at the bottom even. And then so it could be up to you if you want to make the determination, or you can actually have a color, a light versus dark version of the app if you want, which is becoming a more popular thing. All right, cool. So hopefully you were able to gain something from that, just to see my approach about thinking about how things would work. Of course, I only had an hour. In the case of a real project, it takes days. But hopefully, we did get pretty far just with this. So now what I'm going to do is, mention before we get to a couple of the design reviews, I will mention just one final time the sponsor. So everything that I just did, if you want to be able to create stuff like this within an hour, definitely check out the User Experience Design Essentials course at Skillshare.com. And if you use my link over here, you get 2 free months, 100% free. And you can check out tons of other classes from UI, UX design, graphic design, illustration, web development. And they have JavaScript and everything there. So definitely check it out. And let's see. All right, so now I'm going to do some design reviews very quickly just for people who send in super chats because I'm already going over an hour. Next week, I will be doing the free design review as usual. And let's go ahead and close this out. And so let's find out who was the first person. I think there's only been one person, honestly. No, there's been 2. Okay. No, there's been one person. Okay, cool. So somebody named Nicholas X. All right, so I'm gonna check that out real quickly off screen. And if anybody wants me to design or to review their design, send in a super chat now or forever hold your peace, or just wait until next week, next Friday, and I might get to it. I don't always get to all of them. So here is its design. All right, so this is from a super chatter. All right, before I get to it, again, by the way, if you want to help me fund my margarita shenanigans tonight, you can send in a super chat and I'll review it. You click on this, super chat, put it in here, and there we go. All right, so let's go ahead and review this real quickly. This might be our only review. I'll answer some questions too at the end. Okay, so looking at this, it's loading quite slow, unfortunately. Let me move this over. Okay, the first thing that I noticed that's, oh, you know what? Let me scroll down just to get a better idea of what's happening here. This is pretty solid. Okay, so the first thing that I noticed that is wrong is this graphic right here. It needs to be scaled down. It's just too large and it's too close to this text. So if I hit Control-Shift-I to get out our tools here, we take this selector right here, height, the width you have at 770, let's put it to like 500. Maybe not that small, maybe like 580. There we go. And change the padding a little bit. And maybe move it more centered over here. I'm not going to sit there trying to center everything or whatever. Just push it more to like where this pencil is right here. It would be much better. It has this type has a lot more room to breathe. Yeah, definitely do that. So this is what I changed it to, and this is where it was originally. Just notice it's too big. So scale that down as the first suggestion. Second suggestion is it looks like your S is cut off on this logo up here. So I'm not sure, but that could just be my screen. Coming down here, these card-based designs, these are pretty solid. I don't have much of an issue. There could be an issue with your contrast. So let me check that out. I'll inspect this contrast, and it does pass. All right, so it is fine. It's just a real thin, lightweight font, I think. All right, this part's fine. This needs pushed down, so it's more centered with this. So, you know, margin top on that quite a bit. Maybe like right there. See, that's a lot better in my opinion. You probably want to scale down the size of this just a tad bit as well. This is pretty cool. I like this design of the cards. A good separation of the type here visually. I don't know what's happening up there. Your navigation bar is going crazy. But yeah, this is pretty solid. So if we'll do a rating real quick. So rating this on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. What do you guys think this rating should have? Again, this is it. Some people are saying 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 8, 8. 7.5, 7. I'm going to say 7.5. I don't have a 0.5 here, so I'll say a 7.5. I could easily improve the score if we fix some of those issues. I really like this section too. Very cool. All right, there was another person. Yeah, YouTube will automatically make this stream available in a couple hours after it's released, and then you guys can check out the tutorial that I already did. So what about one of our client sites? All right, thank you for the super chat. If anybody wants me to do their review, send a super chat, mention your Discord username or your website, and I will do it. All right, so this is a client website. I'm trying. I can't read this. And it's not giving me the option to translate this page. Okay. All right, this looks pretty definitely interesting. I like the colors. This is a nice headline right there. Sub-headline. I might push this down a little bit more, this button. But I do like the colors overall. And that's a pretty cool way to encase a footer right here. Good white space all around with the type. I don't really see much of an issue here. Yeah, this is all nice. Nice section for the content. Things are separated out well. Yeah, I don't have much negative to say with this. Up here, there's something to be desired. I'm not sure how I would go about changing this. It's just throwing me off with this light sort of icon right here, and then the NWP starts right here, and then there's no separation because this is behind a white background, and then this type starts here and here. That's one thing that's kind of throwing me off slightly, but nonetheless, I think this is solid. So what do you think this person should be rated? Oh, pick English. Oh, there's the language. There we go. All right, I'm gonna say a 8.5. Yeah, pretty much in the middle of what everybody else is saying. Let me go back here, reset. Yeah, thanks a lot for the super chat. I'll check out the chat for a little bit. No more super chats, no more reviews. My throat's kind of hurting. And we will conclude after I just check out the chat a little bit and talk. Oh man, my ass is hurting. Ugh. All right. By the way, I have a tip for you guys. If you're ever getting a sore throat, like the very onset of a sore throat, I discovered, well, I didn't discover it, my wife told me, to use oregano oil, and it's potent as hell. If you get the dropper form of oregano oil, and you put like 2 to 4 drops, that's it, from a dropper on your tongue, and just wash it down with water. It helps. I've used it several times when I felt like I was getting a sore throat, like I did 4 days ago, and the next day it was completely fine. And it started to come back. I did it again. Oregano oil, do it. I know it sounds like weird alternative health stuff, but it definitely helps. Okay, what is people saying? What are people saying? What is your Google extension name? I don't know what you mean. Change your chair. Yeah, I know. This is an old school chair. It's cheap. What is your drink of choice? Well, in terms of alcohol, I definitely more of like a vodka person. But also, I do like margaritas, so that's not vodka. That's tequila. But yeah, I try to stay away from beer these days. It just it bloats me. I don't know. I used to drink a lot of beer, so much so that I drank every night for like a year and a half, and it was a bad thing. Yeah, don't do that anymore. Earlier you mentioned picking colors last. Do you typically design that way? I don't. Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. And sometimes I mix everything together. Like I'll mix the coloring and stuff with how I'm trying to formulate it. So I don't have like a really set standard way. You don't have to. You're really helping me with my self-taught experience becoming front-end dev. Yep, awesome. My PC is about 4 years old, so I'm going to be getting a new one. I don't even know what the specs are of this thing. I think there's like, I used to have 32 gigs of RAM, but now it's down to 16 because 2 of them died. So yeah, I need a new desktop for sure, or a new computer. Desk pins. All right, maybe I'll check that out right now so I don't forget. I keep on forgetting. Desk pins. Desk pins. All right, sweet. Just grab a pin from the desk pins icon in the system notification area and click on any window. Okay, well, I'm going to install this. Next, install. and we'll see if it works. All right. Don't worry, I'll get back to the chats here in a second. Desk pins. There should be... Do I have to run it? Desk pins. Yeah. Oh, there it is. So now I just click on this. How do you use it? I'm trying to figure out. Pins. Enter pin mode. Oh, okay. So you have to enter pin mode. 1 second, because I want to get this chat pinned up. So enter pin mode. Pin. Oh, look at that. It works. Thank you for that suggestion. Coming down here. There's a lot of different server-side programming languages. I would suggest just doing a search. Udemy courses, I do have them, but they're older. I'm going to be creating more courses soon. I'll get you into treatment. No, I'm fine. I'm a lot better these days. I drink maybe like twice a week. Don't really have one that would just come off to the top of my mind. What JavaScript frameworks do you like the most? Vue, and I did a lot of Angular too as well. I do like Vue. And I never really got much into React. That should probably change. It's a very popular topic. Got any tips for devs that want to learn to design better? I do actually. I made a video addressing that topic exactly. Let me find it. It's on my YouTube channel somewhere. So if I go to videos or search Coders design, maybe? Nope, that's not it. I can find it just by looking at the icon, I think. Because I remember what the thumbnail looked like. Where the hell is it? Right here. I answered your question right here, man. As a developer, how can I become a better designer? So do a search on my YouTube channel for that. I'll just put it here as a link. And I made a 30-minute video just on this topic. All right, who was up next? Do I like Flutter? I haven't actually got into it yet. And I was just looking at a course from Maximilian, I think his name is, because he has like a 25-hour course on it. Not sure what they will be. Suggest Chrome's extensions. I did a video on that like 2 weeks ago or a week ago, so you can check my channel. When will I start the design? I already did the design. It was at the beginning. You could check out this video on YouTube later. Nope, I haven't. Yep. I discussed some of this in my video at the beginning of the year about becoming a UI designer or a front-end dev. There's overlap there. Whoa, what the hell? What is happening? Something happened to where, for some reason, you're not seeing my screen as it was. You're seeing me, but you're not. I have the... Oh, something happened with this pin thing, and you're no longer seeing my chat. Yeah, something's wrong, but I think what we're gonna have to do is end it here. And yeah, it's already been an hour and 20 minutes, so definitely we're gonna be doing the design review next next week, just a regular design review as usual. So yeah, Thanks all to all who sent in a super chat. It definitely helps out. And I will see you guys in the Discord server. Go idle in there. See you later.